What's up? Juno here, and this is not the next round of nominees for Dipshit of the Year. No. Those videos take a little bit more time and effort to put together versus, say, just a video on some news story or something like that that I may come across. And I've been extremely busy in my real life to have time to put together one of these videos. Just to put it into perspective for you, over the past 2 weeks, I have worked at least 8 days or so, during the work week that is, with overtime. And I have literally come back from work and had about an hour or two to cook dinner and get some sleep, and then repeat to do the next day. So that's just to put it into perspective for you, and real life takes precedence over YouTube. But we're going to change things up a little bit, and in fact I'm making a video for you to enjoy. And if you've watched my videos, you know that there's a certain aspect of privacy that I like to maintain with the videos, especially when I'm filming my face. I typically wear a hat and sunglasses to some extent. And I like to maintain a certain sense of anonymity online. But this thing that I'm about to talk about kind of breaches online with real life. And it does it in a way that I don't think everyday people should have the power to influence or affect or change or report on, because they are not experts in what they are trying to do. They are just your everyday citizens, and they may not realize what in fact they are doing or may potentially do to those people who fall victim to what I'm about to describe. So let's get into what I'm about to describe. Now, I'm a fan of Apple products, and some people dislike that, but whatever. And this specifically has to do with Apple products, the range that is the iPhone, the iPod Touch, and or the iPad. This is an application that is available in the Apple App Store, officially passed the Apple regulations, and it is allowed in the Apple App Store. And I want to know why, because Apple has pulled apps for less, and I don't understand why this somewhat privacy concern is allowed to fly when some other applications, take for example, Apple this week pulled a WikiLeaks application that a developer released, and there isn't really much reason for that. At least I can see, but that's for a whole separate video that I'm not even going to bring up in this. So let's get to the application at hand that I want to talk about, and it's called Drive Me Crazy. And if you are unfamiliar with this application, now full disclosure, I don't have this application, I don't want this application, I think this application is completely fucked up, because it can fuck over people more so than you think. But there are a lot of different things I don't like about it, but I'll explain those right now. So what this application does, or what it's designed to do, is you are supposed to report those people you see on the road driving what you deem to be bad or dangerous or whatever. It's kind of open to interpretation, what one person may view as dangerous or illegal, and it can vary from person to person. So, what it's designed to do is you type in the license plate of the person who you deem to be doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and it gets sent off to the DMV of the state that they're in and the insurance company of the driver. I see a big flaw with this, because who's responsible for enforcing laws, especially when it comes to driving? That could be your local police department, or the state patrol, or the highway patrol, or whatever it is in your state or country or whatever. Not everyday citizens. I can't go and pull over someone just because I see them talking on the phone and write them a ticket. That's not my job. I don't have a detailed understanding of the laws that various cities or states or countries have. It's not my industry. It's not the type of work I do. And what this does is it kind of gives that to people. And I just love the hypocrisy that I'm gonna bring up here when we go to the developer's actual websites. And I have another beef with these people too, and they seem to be pulling out all the stops as of late, which really makes no sense to why. And just for a little taste of things, I'm gonna scroll down here and let's look at some of the comments of this. The first one here is a 1-star review, cyber snitching. Just what is not needed. Another way for idiots to mess with the lives and money of people and do it anonymously. Break up with a girlfriend. She's pissed and reports you. Don't like your boss? Report him. How is this app even legal? This is the ultimate troll app. Don't like somebody? Report them and watch their insurance rates go up. I still don't understand how this app can be legally used to report somebody for being a bad driver. The app's a good idea. I know I've had my fair share of idiot drivers cut me off, but I'm not a cop and neither are you. Those are just excerpts from some comments that have been posted on the Apple webpage, and I'll post a link to this so you can check them out for yourself. I would have shown you what it looks like in the actual iTunes store, but I would be disclosing some personal information by doing that, so I'm not going to go that far. You can check it out for yourself, and you can look it up in the App Store on your own. But another interesting aspect to this application is they have the Good Driver Reward. And their justification for this, at least from what I read, is say you see a girl that looks cute or something, you could send her a little message. That's kind of creepy, but that's kind of a minor issue compared to what this app is typically or supposedly designed for. But something that they didn't really think this app very through, but it could come in an update. I hope it doesn't. I really would like to see this app disappear anyway. Well, before I go into that, though, full disclosure here, I have a completely clean driving record. The only ticket I've ever received outside of a parking ticket is a fix-it ticket. I have never had a moving violation or gotten a ticket for an accident. Hell, I have never even had an accident. So, I mean, I have a perfectly clean driving record. Now, I have no way to prove this to you. You'll just have to take my word for it, but I'm not bullshitting you. That is not bullshit. And you can ask any... Well, it'd be pointless, but everyone I know knows that I have a clean driving record. But, again, this kind of gets down to discretion. What one person may view as bad or dangerous may not be so. Like, I've had people say, well, you drive a little fast. Yeah, I may drive a little fast, but I do it in the proper circumstances. I'm not going to go racing down a road or anything like that, like in the middle of a city or in a crowded area. You keep the high speeds to the highways, where, I mean, even if the speed limit may be posted at 65, if the flow of traffic is going 70 to 75, what are the chances of that getting caught if you're in the middle of a pack of cars? Anyway, I'm not trying to justify speeding here. I'm just saying there's a time and a place for it. This is definitely not the right thing to do. So let's go to their actual website and read their, quote, vision statement. And here are a couple quotes from two different sources that they have here. And we'll start out with the first one. More than 6 million crashes take place on U.S. roads every year, resulting in more than 2.5 million police-reported injuries and more than 35,000 deaths. Around the world, an estimated 1.2 million people die each year in traffic-related accidents. And we'll move on to the next quote. Aggressive driving behaviors account for half of all car accidents in the U.S. That's all fine and dandy. So these people are going to be your saving grace, apparently, when it comes to trying to curb dangerous or what some individuals may deem as dangerous driving, when in fact it may not be. So let's continue on. Can you connect these two facts as well? Poor driving behavior is possibly one of the worst problems our society faces today. We've got more important issues than dealing with trying to report people just because they seem to think that they can take the law into their own hands. I'm sorry, this is complete bullshit. The primary cause behind it is motorist anonymity, or the false belief that it's okay to drive badly or pick your nose in the car because no one knows you. So they're out to change that. They're going to hold you accountable just because they don't like that you can, I guess, somewhat get away with certain things, and they want you to be constantly paranoid that there's going to be someone out there reporting you. I'm sorry. Our vision is to dramatically reduce the number of accidents caused by unsafe or aggressive driving. Great, that's an interesting mission, but see, you have many millions of people using iDevices, and what are the chances? There's like, what, at least over 100,000 applications in the Apple App Store, and chances are not a lot of people have this application readily available. And another thing, too, if you're supposed to curb dangerous driving, all right, and let's say a license plate that you are going to report in the state of California, if you have just a regular sequential license plate, it starts with a number on a regular car, 3 letters, and then 3 more numbers, okay? That's 7 digits. And they have a flaw with this software, but like I said, it could come in another update, is they only allow 6 digits. Now, some states in the United States have 7 digits on their plates, some states have 8, and some states have 6. And then you have to deal with vanity plates. And you have a variety of different sizes. So that's just, you've already got a lot of variables here to work with, which isn't going to make this successful. Drive Me Crazy empowers anyone to report bad driving behavior by fellow motorists. We are a reputation management system similar to those already successfully deployed on the internet, such as eBay's buyer sell ratings. Our service will give drivers the feeling of being surrounded by unmarked patrol vehicles. This is the best statement here, because especially the one that follows it just is the kicker. And we expect to see a significant reduction in accidents, as was found with the How's My Driving programs for trucks. Okay, here it comes. We are not Big Brother. Yet, in your previous sentence, you say, our service will give drivers the feeling of being surrounded by unmarked patrol vehicles. It's been a while since I've seen such blatant hypocrisy spelled out literally in front of me. Give me a fucking break. You are exactly what the notion of Big Brother is. This is it in a nutshell here, folks. But merely an open forum and database that logs what individuals already observe on the road and complain about daily. Drive Me Crazy is for motorists what Yelp is for restaurants or TripAdvisor is for hotels. Except there's one major difference between Drive Me Crazy and Yelp and TripAdvisor, okay? Yelp is reviews for restaurants, not reported to official state agency. TripAdvisor, I've never used either of these things, so TripAdvisor is reviews of hotels, I'm assuming, okay? Still not responding to a state agency, okay? Drive Me Crazy is designed to send information to the DMV and your insurance company, okay? So you can fuck someone financially just because you might deem what they're doing in the privacy of their own car as dangerous. You're not the police. Stop trying to act like the police. And another thing that really gets me here, a lot of people, this is an app to be used, or you would think be used while you're in motion or on your way to something. Why are you using an application like this while you're driving? That sounds pretty distracting, and that sounds like it may cause an accident. Hello? Is that obvious here? Holy fucking shit. We hope you'll share this vision to make our roads safer. If your active flagging of road drivers reduces accidents with a paltry 1%, we have just saved 350 lives. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I hope this app gets pulled because this is just utter bullshit. You can't expect people to use this responsibly. People are going to abuse this. They are. And who gets fucked over? The person who has no idea. I don't want my insurance rates to go up just because some idiot on the road who did this, by the way, anonymously, to ruin my insurance rates or driving record with the DMV just because they may be a little bit pissed off or they may not know what exactly the law is. Give me a fucking break. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little rant. Do your part. Blaspheme daily.